Since the debt count was discussed at the top of the call, I wanted to ask you about CDC guidance that says a positive test is not required for a person who died to be included as a COVID death. So they don't actually need to test positive, but the physician has leeway to decide if it's a COVID related death or not based on symptoms. Do you have reason to believe that the death count is inflated because of that guidance from the CDC?
If, Jim, if I could just say, I
Sure.
think that the death count is actually much higher. And I hate to talk about this in such a morbid fashion, but in my district, I hear from the funeral directors because of, they're wanting to have people come to the wakes and all that, and the limitations that have been put on. And what they tell me is that many times people come, to be buried who are not reported as having died from COVID. And in reality, it's because the family doesn't want people to know, or because they know that if it's a COVID death, that they may not be able to have a wake. So in my opinion, regardless of what the CDC is saying, the reality is I think the death count is much higher. People are not certifying, doctors, loved ones are not, they don't want people to think that the person died of COVID. I don't know if that answers your question.
If I may, I think I'm unmuted. I agree with Chair Pallone. We detected here in South Carolina, and most especially in my congressional district, that a lot of reactions came after various gatherings like funerals and weddings and stuff that did not get reported. And of course, people are now suffering as a result of it. So I do believe that the death toll is probably higher.